Hello everyone, welcome on back to Survival Challenge. Alright, so first things first, I think we're gonna get the one field down there fertilized, much like I was gonna last time, and then, well, things came up, so we are gonna get that done right away. I would like it not to get pushed off again. If you wait too long, then all of a sudden it's gonna have crop destruction in it, and well, then we'd have to get narrows or just accept it not being 100%. So I think we'll do turning assist, make it a ton easier. Now I'm gonna get the soybean harvest contract accepted. I said I would probably do it. We haven't did any contracts, and we're gonna use stuff that we already have. We're gonna use our own combine and everything. So I don't think it's too bad. Be nice to have a little bit extra money, and soybeans are at a higher price right now, so I think we should net a little bit more. That's what I'm thinking, at least. It almost looks weird having such a small fertilizer spreader on a 300 horsepower tractor, but it's happening. I mean, I said in the moment that it would be a little bit overkill for a while, and it is. It definitely is. But there's nothing wrong with that. Allows us to have the future ability to upgrade even more. Get far bigger and better things. Just in the moment, it's like, do we really need that? Yeah, probably not, but it's gonna be nice to have, though. Like I said, we can take less middle steps and just take the larger step to larger equipment. Obviously, that does mean saving up longer money-wise, so we can actually afford the stuff. But it's just, it's one of the things where it's like, it's probably better to do it than taking middle steps to do a lot of that stuff, so. It looks fairly good. We're missing some back here. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Obviously, like, this will need maintenance at some point. It being a used tractor, they're always gonna. A lot of times, I think they go through maintenance requirements earlier. That's what it feels like, at least. So, there's pros and cons, but in theory, we should be able to get going in a lot of things earlier. And I actually did change one thing with it after recording. There's multiple different, if I can find it. Yeah. There's just different kilometers an hour ones, and it's a free upgrade. I think originally in the video I had 40. It's at the 60 now. Free upgrade, so why not? So it's a lot faster now. I think it's almost 40, right? 40 miles an hour. Yeah, 41. It's cruising. A little bit better than what the 25, 26 it was. It's kind of a weird point though, because I kind of want to get a larger planter, obviously. But our fields don't really need the larger planer. So I do we get more land, but then if I get more land, then we're gonna almost need a new planter. It's kind of just a, you know, what comes first. I'm thinking the planter will. I'd rather be prepared for more land than have more land and be struggling. I mean, I think the harvests are already gonna take, you know, plenty long. I think when we do buy more land, I'm gonna try to split it up some into smaller portion fields, at least at the beginning. Obviously, we do still need get some sheds. I want to get some chickens, so just a matter of time and money. I know I mentioned pretty early on it's probably gonna be a little bit different than other survival challenges just because of lack of mods. Almost we don't have as many as we obviously did in end of 22, right? So we have far less options in that, and in survival challenges you use a ton of mods. It's almost a requirement. Obviously when you don't have as many, it makes it a little bit tougher, but I think we've made do so far. But I think in animal pens and stuff, it's a little bit different story. A lot of things are a little bit more expensive than I'd like to spend right now. I think I'll do steering assist, honestly. It's possible we fill this trailer up in here at least once. It's not a small field by any means. It's also only single fertilized, so the yield won't be nearly as good as it potentially could be either. I think originally this was a plot of land that you started with. I think the original starting area was right in here, and that house there was your starting house. Obviously I kind of sold everything and moved, but that was just kind of make it so we started out with almost less stuff. I didn't want to start with a house and everything, and we had far more trees farther that way. It's kind of nice to build up your own farm than, you know, kind of just continue on with what's already provided to you. You can make it how we want it. Well, I don't know, only 500 liters so far. One whole lap around, we're probably looking at about 1,000 liters. Same time, that's only a 3,000 liter trailer. But we might have to empty in the middle. Well, I think I'll just start up a time lapse for this, so I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done. Alright, so we're just about done here with the soybeans. Last strip, at least. It all fit into the combine. It'll still be 2 trips to... Well, actually, I might be able to just drive the combine over there. Just unload directly into the sell point. I would think that would work. It'd be far quicker than 2 loads with the trailer. Although this does drive half the speed as the tractor. Once you figure that in, it's probably not as big of a difference, but... Yeah, I still think we'll get back. We can probably work on an oak tree, maybe. Get that done. Gotta see how much time we got left then, but... We'll see. We'll see. It was at... Probably should check. I might say on the map. Yeah, sell everything. But we'll get it sold there. Which was the better price of the 2 options, so that's not a bad thing to see. Somewhere in here. There we go. Now hopefully we get a nice extra bonus. It's filling up that percentage slower than I would like to see. Same time, if we only get, you know, what, 600 liters worth or something, that'll still be a couple grand. The soybeans are such a higher priced item. Won't be 600 liters. Still made pretty good out of the end, though. $1,700, almost $1,800. I can't complain for that. And plus we got the contract itself we can collect on. 2 grand there. So we made 3,800 bucks. Not bad. Not bad. Now we'll have to get everything brought back, which obviously I could have not brought the tractor down, but rather be safe than sorry on that. So we got a short drive, well, a long drive really with the combine, and then rather short drive with the tractor itself. Alright, so we're just about back with the Fent. One thing I did notice is that we have half a oak tree that is laying down that needs to be sold as well, so we can probably do that first. I wanted to cut this tree right here down too. That one might be small enough, I might just put in the sawmill though. I want to keep as many trees kind of in this opening, well, driveway as I can, just because I do like how it looks. Then how it just kind of opens up into this wider area. I do like how that looks, so. I don't know if we're going to cut too many trees back here now. Obviously there is a couple oak trees still there, but I think we might work over there. We cut more down. Yeah, we gotta do this half of one first. We'll get it cut up, and I think half a tree is usually 5 grand. So this tree will be about 5 grand. Oh. Whoops. That didn't happen. Whoopsie. Alright, let's get this put in here. That's the thing. Obviously, I don't want to open up this area too much. It's one of those things I do want to keep the forest somewhat intact. It's just, you know, I do like how it looks, and I think the farm would look pretty nice with it. Obviously, you know, once everything's built in here with the trees surrounding it. At some point, I think we'd make like a small bridge or something over the little river down there, just so we could drive around the whole way. I would imagine I have some somewhere. I know I have a mod or something I installed, but I wouldn't know where that would be. Others. There we go. Is there a really short one? Yeah, like at some point we'd look to get something in here. Just so it's possible to go around the whole way. A lot of them are pretty long bridges, which makes sense. I mean, in most cases when you're making a bridge, it's over a larger gap than that, but just so we'd have the ability to drive all the way around. It's a long-term thing, though. I don't think we're quite to the point where we gotta worry about that yet. At some point, though, at some point it'll be a larger concern. It'll be more of a, once we get some sheds in place, animals, all that stuff. I haven't looked too much into sheds because I just know it's going to be, you know, rather expensive. At some point it's going to happen, though. I think it's going to be land, well, probably planter land. Chickens might be in there at some point. We need sheds. It's probably gonna be chickens before like sheep or anything. As much as like sheep and goats and stuff, they can probably be, value-wise, you can probably make more. It's just, it costs more to get them going, because we're gonna obviously have to bale it or something, and that costs more than just a pen. That's all we would really need for chickens. I think that's in there in the trigger. The one hit the roof, so $7 grand. All right. Honestly, not too bad. We can get, I would assume, I might just do a load with smaller trees. Although it wouldn't be bad to just put those into the sawmill. As much as it doesn't really take that long for that to run. It takes a while to run through anything, really. And way in the future, at some point, I'm sure we'll be thinking, oh, hey, maybe we should consider selling it. So, 'cause it is kind of in the middle of the road. It's almost in the way, you know. Once you figure in roads and stuff in the future, it's probably gonna be in the way. Yeah, I think. Oh. At some point we'll take this oak tree down anyway, so I think we'll take it now. But these smaller trees in here will be taken at some point as well. This area is not as flat over here. So that's something we'll have to consider. It's fairly flat there, but it's not over here. That might change what I would want to put here then. And you could still figure a pen or something in here, though. Depending how far up it goes in here. Oh, here is the line. You could probably get, you know, maybe we do goats or something in the future. We could pen them up here. So there's still probably a use for it. Just it being on flat, not very flat, does kind of hurt what you really can do with it. You can always come up with something different. Because obviously with custom pastures, you can... It doesn't really matter if it's on a hill. As long as the building is on a somewhat flat area, doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think we're too far away from hitting a point where we probably stop cutting so many trees down. Right now it's just, hey, we're gonna cut them eventually. Right now, you know, pretty soon it's gonna be, well, we're gonna cut it eventually, but maybe. You know, you need other things to help plan out where you want to do things, though. $12,000. What? That's more than what's normal. We must have put more wood on there than what we would usually get. It must be it. That's so I would assume the next load will be less. I would assume. That, or for some reason this oak tree is just bigger than the other ones. I don't know. Yeah, we'll head on back. I'll pick up the rest, and then I'll be back here. We can get that sold as well. Alright, so it's back in here once again. Like I said, I would assume this is going to be worth less just because we got extra in the last one. Normally it's 10 grand and then 5 grand. So I would think this is like 3 grand since we got 12 grand last time. Almost 5 grand. I don't know what to say. I know somebody had commented a little while ago that the reason why when we sold just the full tree and we didn't get as much was because a lot of the tree was not in the trigger. So maybe me backing it in puts more of it in the trigger, so we might make a little bit more. That maybe that's it. Because I was like, that's kind of a weird thing if that's the case. You'd think as long as some of the trees in the trigger, it all takes place, but no. How much was this to buy? 150,000. Oh. If I had $150,000, I would do it. Because we could just make beams and stuff and make far more money than what we're making selling the trees themselves. Yeah, that might be it. That might be it. But yeah, anyways, next time we'll be into the winter months, so we'll likely have 3 harvests to do right around the same time. Then we'll have oats to sell. Probably going to look at total almost 40,000 because we'll have 2 more fields to do. Bunch of peas. Otherwise, not too much probably to sell. I'll try to sell wood chips because it'll be a couple grand to do that. We're likely looking at maybe 1,800 by then. It's not a ton, but might still be worth it. But anyways, that's about everything for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.